everybody, this is Space Frehley, and you're hanging with the hooligans on the Hooligan Nation, a KISS-Centric Podcast. I freaking love it. I'll see you later. Ack!
This week on Hooligan Nation, we talk to the one and only Space Frehley. Oh, you don't know who that is? He is the only non-makeup Ace Frehley tribute with incredible skills and swagger. Meet the man who is leading the charge to keep Ace's legacy alive. Stay tuned, because you got
nothing
to lose. Welcome to the Hooligan Nation, the KISS-Centric Podcast, the podcast where the riffs are loud, but our opinions are louder. I'm Anthony.
I'm Rocco.
And I'm Black Diamond Dave.
I love the fact that you two know your names. What's up, hooligans, and welcome to episode number 76 of the Hooligan Nation. This week, boy, do we have a show for you. We have audio, we have visual, we have the one and only Space Frehley. And if you don't know who he is, that's why we're here. But before that, we have news, music we're listening to, and of course, our weekly poll. But first, last episode recap, episode number 75. Steve Brown of Trickster talks music, producing, Ace Frehley's final album, and life on stage. Father Rocco. Thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, he's very high energy and incredible amount of music knowledge through the years. I really enjoyed talking to him, listening to him. There's so much information you're getting, and he's definitely somebody who carries the torch for our music that we grew up loving.
Steve is a survivor, man, and that's really what I got out of talking to Steve. Is dude, he lived through it all, he overcame it all, and he's still here, standing, still fighting, still putting great music out. It's hard to say anything bad about Steve Brown.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got the same thing. That was the most interesting part to be able to interview someone who lived through that transition from that 80s hard rock and heavy metal, incredible amounts of popularity, to waking up one morning and grunge taking over the world. And I thought it was very cool, the business sense that he had at the age he was, to say, oh, okay, we need to put this on pause. We need to go over here and do this.
Right.
Because he had that business sense, and because they put Trickster on pause and went and did other things, he now has the ability to come back. Mm-hmm. And the popularity of that era is more than back to me.
I think so. And I respect his work ethic. The guy's definitely he's a dedicated, has a hard work ethic.
Yeah, you can tell. He went to the Gene Simmons, John Bon Jovi, exactly. Paul Stanley School of Music business. And I don't mean that negatively in any way.
Not at all.
Business-wise, that's the top of the game right there.
Right there.
Can't get no better. Absolutely.
News. Oh, we got news. Oh, we're doing news. Who's got news?
I got some news. The news I have is regarding Megadeth, a couple different little things there. First thing for Megadeth, they are ranked the #1 album in the country.
It's crazy. Good for them.
That was interesting. I was really surprised to see that.
It's honestly pretty good.
I think it's pretty great personally, but it was mind-blowing for that to be the #1 album in the country. And what's another mind-blowing thing, and I haven't watched this yet all the way through, but Dave Ellefson, formerly of Megadeth, I guess he has a podcast because everybody has a podcast. If we have a podcast, everybody has a podcast. But he reviewed the new Megadeth album on his podcast. I'm very interested to watch that podcast.
I do have a quote from him also.
Oh, please.
It said, he put in there, and this is giving props to one of the musicians in Megadeth's band. Look, Timu is obviously a great guitar player. He's fantastic. He's a great player. To me, he's kind of the story of Megadeth right now. He's the shining star of the group right now.
You think maybe he was throwing a rock?
Oh, yeah, I would think so because he's not a part of it anymore. Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know. That's kind of what it sounds like something Gene would say when Peter put out a new album. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? Oh, I'm sorry.
I ain't forgot you, Silky, while we're on petty old stuff.
Dave, you got any news?
I do. Let's talk about Motley Crue, man.
Oh, let's.
The article I'm sure everybody saw last week that's still relevant in my mind is Motley Crue emerges victorious in legal battle with Mick Mars. Motley Crue have reportedly emerged victorious in their recent legal battle with former guitarist Mick Mars after the case ended up in the hands of an arbitrator. It was determined that every claim Mars has made against the group was rejected, and the guitarist was ordered to pay damages to the band.
Do you know
Mind
how
blowing.
much?
You guys remember what was it 2 years ago when this story first broke? I don't know anyone that wasn't Team Mick.
No,
I'm
well, I
definitely
think
Team
we
Mick.
all believed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all took it. The only part of that story that I did not buy was that Tommy Lee was faking it. I did not believe that. Although
You're a heck of a drummer if you could fake playing the drums, man.
Yeah, I mean, actually, he's had shows where he had some kind of ailment and he stopped playing. I can't see him. Yeah, I don't see him faking it.
yeah, I saw him in Philly, and he played. I think he played the first 4 songs, and then that's after he fell down the stairs and he was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he played the first 4 songs, and then he went off. I can't remember right now who replaced him, and then I think he came back for like the last song or 2.
Yeah, like he bows out if he can't hang, he bows out.
But I
Do
read an
you-
article like last week that completely, it's funny, but completely debunked pretty much everything that Mick Mars said, and it's true.
Yeah, because it's obvious Vince Neil wasn't lip syncing.
That's the one. That's the one right there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I bought everything that Mick was saying and never thought, well, if he's lip syncing, you got to get a better recording.
Oh my God, yeah.
Amen.
Kind of changes.
No, I could
things a
see,
little
I
bit.
could see, the bass things he said maybe, but the voice is what does him in. With Vince singing, yeah.
The thing with the bass thing is the video. I mean, there's a video out there where Nikki's like a fan jumped on the stage or something.
And it's still
And Nicky
going.
was going to hit him.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Nikki was going to
Well,
hit
he was
him or
like
not,
he was
but,
like
but
defensive.
I know Nikki was not playing the bass at
And
the
it was-
time,
and
but
it
the
was still
bass
going.
was playing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there's more to this. Maybe there isn't. But
It's a shame because I'm
the
a fan.
number
I'm
is
a fan,
Big
definitely.
Motley fan. Yeah, it's heartbreaking to see what happened.
the
And
number that I heard is that Mick owes them $750,000.
Yep, for the advance he got for the tour he didn't finish.
Right. So
I don't know, it's just a shame because to me, I feel like the most important ingredient in Motley Crue, and just in my opinion, was the sound that Mick brought to the band.
Oh, no, I'd agree 100%. I honestly kind of feel like it's factual, dude. Those riffs that he was putting
Legendary.
out during, 100%.
hmm.
His tone is something else. It really is. Man, the girls guitar tone.
Yeah, oh, man.
What beats
Wild
that?
Side
Please.
too. It's
Wild
fucking-
Side, yeah, man. Dr. Feelgood. What beats those guitar tones?
All right.
Ace Frehley.
Well,
Sorry.
I mean, I love Jesus too, and we're at church, but that's not the point, brother.
Oh, good comeback. I like that. That was good.
Wow. All right. Now we've turned into a religious podcast.
And we will take you and we will bring you to the promised land.
Okay, so much to talk about today. How about we talk about the incredible Ozzy tribute at the Grammys by Chad Smith, Andrew Watt, Duff, and Slash, and Post Malone. Dude, let me tell you something. If you guys haven't seen this yet,
No, it's great.
Post Malone absolutely. I'm not gonna say that he outdid Ozzy, but
Blasphemy.
he's damn close. I really, it was so much better than I expected it to be. It was so much more than I thought it was gonna be. It was so nice for the Grammys to actually recognize this genre of music that they try to slide under a dirty carpet constantly. And on top of that, and I think we were all looking for this, the entire KISS Army was paying attention to was there going to be an Ace Frehley in memoriam spotting? And yes, to answer the question for whoever didn't see it, yes, it was there. It wasn't anything special, but it was there. And that was enough for me. And between that and the Ozzy tribute song with the caliber of players that they got to play, and Ozzy's family was there. I think, we need to kill these kinds of organizations when they do the wrong thing, but we also need to praise them when they do the right thing. And I think they did a perfect job, personally.
Agreed. I really like that they had Andrew Watt there because all the work he had done with Ozzy recently. I thought that was a really nice touch. Slash kicked ass, dude.
Dude,
And
Slash,
I'm not a Slash
kicks
guy.
ass.
Dude, I'm not a Slash guy. I'm really not. I think he's a little bit overhyped. But I think he was awesome in his role. I love Chad Smith, the Chili Peppers. I think he's a heck of a drummer.
Oh, he is.
He really is. I think he's a heck of a drummer. Post Malone, I went into that going, oh, I can't stand this guy, because I remember his rap career and never liking him. And he's done his country thing the last couple of years. But his vocals were sinister.
Oh,
he
yeah.
he understood the vibe and the assignment.
Yep.
He put it across the right way. It was a little reverby for me, if you get what I'm saying, if you're a music person. But otherwise,
I gotta check it out.
it was it really was fantastic. And Duff McKagan was there too. Don't let me not give him credit.
Well, you just said something that raised my blood pressure.
Let's go, brother.
You think Slash is overrated?
From my generation of kids who grew up playing Guitar Hero, Slash was put on this pedestal long before anybody knew him. So I do think Slash is a little overrated for my time.
Have you ever heard Slash play the theme to Godfather?
From The Godfather? Heck yeah, dude. It's great.
But right there, to me,
I can play that, brother. That doesn't mean much, though.
Oh, it does to me. I think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, Slash will be on the Mount Rushmore of
his
guitar
look is so
players.
iconic. It will be. I agree with that.
The one thing that I will say about Slash is composing. Is the Sweet Child of Mine still is like one of the best solos ever written. So
I'll give you that in November Rain, but what do you give you after that?
I mean, I like some of the stuff he's done on Velvet Revolver. I'm not saying he's a god. I'm not saying he's my number one.
No, I love Velvet Revolver. I'm not saying that at all. I just think his technical ability is blown out of proportion.
I'm gonna stay neutral at that, but I like it. No, I like his, honestly, I like his feel. I feel like he plays with feel, and that's what grabs me from him.
I'm gonna say this
honestly. I feel like he has like that feel that you want.
The dirty rock and roll vibe that's missing in music now. He has. I'll give you that all day.
And that's what. Do I think he's the fastest? Do I think he's
no? And that's what I'm saying. 100%. I agree with your point.
He reminds me very much of Ace Frehley. He does. He reminds me. I don't get that. He reminds me of Ace Frehley.
Not vibrato, but his pauses on notes.
No, I'm
not to play in the right time. I can see that. I can
I'm
see that
talking
100%,
about
Rocco.
knowing when not to play, not going too far, not just playing a bunch of notes as fast as he can. The songs, the solos become songs within a song. That to me,
Yeah, because I can sing the Sweet Child of Mine solo. I can sing.
that's
Yeah, that's a good point.
that's what I'm saying. No, he's not the fastest. He may not be the best technical wise, but he has the feel and
It's kind
he knows what he knows, and he doesn't try to make himself be something that he's not.
But I challenge you to go back and watch the same video I watched of the Grammy performance. Tell me that him and Andrew don't lose that solo, because they do for a minute. They lose it hard. It was
Yeah,
jarring.
I gotta watch
dude,
it. I haven't seen it yet.
I wasn't paying attention.
I'm a guitar
to that.
player, brother.
Yeah, and I know there's difference, but I think that's a little not unfair, but it's a little much. How much time do you think they had to rehearse that song?
Yeah, because I bet it wasn't even a week.
I bet you it wasn't even a day.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
maybe I'm wrong.
In that respect, that's completely fair.
Maybe I'm wrong, but you're getting Chad Smith, Andrew Watt, Duff and Slash,
and Posty.
and Post Malone all together. I'm guessing at the most they might have had 3-4 hours the day before, and then maybe they had a sound check the day of. Now, if that's true, would that change your opinion a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. Under that kind of pressure, absolutely. What I took away from that performance the most, the Osbourne children were bawling their eyes out because it meant so much to them. And that's what really matters to me.
Just an FYI for our hooligans, our newest Hooligan Nation giveaway has begun. If you want to be entered into this giveaway, you have to go to hooligannation.com. The giveaway is a autographed poster autographed by Eric Singer, Tommy Thayer, Gene Simmons, and Paul Stanley. It is from the Kiss Cruise Landlocked poster. Good luck to everyone who enters. Music we're listening to. What do you got?
I'm listening to Pop Evil. I mentioned them once before. I'm listening to their album What Remains. The songs that I like a lot: The Bullet That Missed, What Remains, Side Effects, and Knife for the Butcher. It's a blend of, if you haven't listened to them, it's a blend of heavy stuff with really good, clean, clear vocals that I like a lot.
Ooh, okay.
Heck yeah.
Black Diamond Dave.
All right, I teased it last week that I would tell you guys my current guitar hero. He won a Grammy.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm waiting for this.
Yeah. So the guy I'm really into, that's a complete genre change, is Billy Strings. I think that's one of the best guitar players in the world right now. He's a flat picker. He's a bluegrass, but it's still kind of psychedelic vibe.
I definitely heard the name.
Highway Prayers is the album he won the Grammy for. It came out in 2024. I think that is honestly one of the best newer albums I've heard
Highway Prayer?
quite some time. Highway Prayers. It's different now. I get a KISS podcast. Not everybody's going to be into it, but if your mind is open, I think you can find at least one song you like on that album.
Cool. It's
Ooh,
like
is that a challenge?
That's a challenge.
And it's real bluegrassy?
For somebody like Anthony, I would say like Gild the Lily, because that's the most different song on that album. So try that one first and see what you think.
Trying to call me different?
You're not into bluegrass, brother.
You wouldn't. I know.
Gild the Lily is more psychedelic rock than anything else on that album.
I like green grass.
I'll listen and focus on the guitar.
I like all grass. That's my problem.
Well, just to shock all the hooligan system, we're going to go from Pop Evil to Billy Strings and Bluegrass to Judas Priest, especially the album Turbo, because the songs like Turbo Lover, Locked In, Private Property, Parental Guidance, and Out in the Cold. Oh my God, this is
Out in the Cold. I love that song, Out in the Cold.
Very
Turbo Lover.
Judas Priest album that I cannot understand why. I can't understand why. Yes, it has a little synthesizers in it, but it still rocks. And it's, what, 40 years old, I think? It's 40 years old. I put it on today again, and it sounds like it's brand new to me.
It's an excellent choice.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very nice.
Priest is one of those bands you could pick a song at least off every album.
Oh, Ram It Down is another heavy, really good album too.
Priest is just good like that, man.
You're absolutely right. There's at least one great song on every one of their albums. Look, their newest album, I love it.
Yep.
Does anybody know what time it is?
It's poll time.
It is poll time. We gotta do this kind of shit. It is poll time. Our weekly polls can be found on our community tab and our Facebook group. This week's poll question is, what's more important to you when you listen to an album? Your choices were who wrote the songs or who plays on the songs. Father Rocco, what say you? Oh, well, thank you.
More important, who wrote the song or who played on the song?
That's what I said, yes.
I'm going to say who played on the song.
Okay. Black Diamond Dave?
Agreed 100%. Who cares who wrote it if the people who played on it represented the song?
You guys are catching where this question comes from, right?
Is this the nobody voted anything other than this question?
I'm just trying to poke Gene in both eyes at the same time, and that's
He's
the reason
never coming
for
on this
this.
show.
Well, he should learn to speak like a human being sometimes. What do both of you think the Hooligans think?
I don't think.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, same thing.
Well, you would both be 100%. Well, not quite 100%, but you would be 94% correct.
Who voted against us? I'm calling you out publicly.
On the songs got 94% of the vote, while who wrote the songs got 6%.
Was it Mark Phillips? I want that glass back, brother.
Thank you to all the hooligans that voted. A new poll is up right now. So please vote. It is your right and your responsibility as a hooligan. Battleborn is a collaborative effort among like-minded individuals and organizations intent on repairing and restoring people who have served our country. We do this by delivering a unique level of support and guidance to those servicemen and women who have emotional and psychological wounds. We provide support directly and indirectly in collaboration with others in our community who value those who have served this nation and its communities. For more information, go to wearebattleborn.com. Space Frehley, welcome to the Hooligan Nation, and thank you for coming to hang out with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's my first podcast.
For those of you that do not know, Space Frehley is a modern-day non-makeup tribute to Ace Frehley. Frontman Aaron Greer, who portrays Ace as Space Frehley, discovered KISS at the age of 5 and has been a lifelong fan ever since. In May 1995, at just 17 years old, Aaron joined a full makeup and costume KISS tribute band called Deuce. Aaron began pursuing original music in 1999. In early 2024, Aaron decided to form an Ace Frehley tribute of his own. He envisioned a modern-day tribute, one that focused on capturing Ace's true spirit rather than simply his appearance. Following Ace Frehley's passing in October 2025, Aaron's commitment to honoring Ace's legacy only grew stronger. Based in Pittsburgh, PA, Space Frehley performs Saturday, February 14th, 2026 at the Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck, New Jersey, with additional regional shows to take place throughout 2026. So welcome, Space Frehley, and thank you. How does one become an iconic character? What was your process in becoming Ace?
Oh, talk about a loaded question. Honestly, man, it really didn't take much practice or like rehearsing because I've been doing this my whole life, little by little. I've been playing guitar, or at least trying to play guitar like them since I was 12. And over time, I would like when I was in my old tribute band, like sometimes I used to try to break into Ace banter, and it wasn't there yet, but when I started to get really serious about Space Frehley, I just started talking like in everyday conversation, and I would record myself with my phone, and I would listen back. And I would send it to my brother, and I said, "Is it just me, or do I really sound like him?" And so the more, it's like anything else, the more you do it, you just get better. And, you know, it's, but honestly, I've been watching his interviews for 35 years. I've been, you know, it's just been part of my life, and I feel like I'm at the point now where, if you ask me any question, I feel like I know or have an inkling of what Ace would say, but I try to be as authentic as I can. I try to use words that he would use. Ace always said things were hysterical, and he always used the word juncture.
Uh-huh.
It's not happening at this juncture. You just pick up parts of his vernacular, there's a word for you, and his vocabulary. And and as he got older, he kind of enunciated his words more and spoke a little slower. And you just gotta pick up, it's like studying, it's like playing somebody in a movie. Like you gotta study their every move. You gotta watch and pick up on their little mannerisms. You see how I did mannerisms? Like Ace would do stuff like that.
All right. How did you figure out how to create a smoking guitar?
Okay, well, that had nothing to do with me. You know? So, in fact, I don't have my smoker. In fact, I'll tell you, so I have a smoking Les Paul. It's the biggest piece of shit. Honest to God, it doesn't work. It pisses me off. I go to do it in the show and I turn the knob that it's supposed to smoke and it doesn't, and
Oh,
I
wow.
and I feel like I want to throw it off a cliff because it's the most important, it's one of the most important parts of the show. And I said to my wife, actually, I didn't say to her, I just went and did it. Uh, you know who Jim Cara is?
No.
Jim
I
Ca-
don't.
Jim Cara is the guy who's done all of Ace's smoking guitars for the last 25
Oh,
years.
wow.
Really?
Really cool. I didn't
And
know that.
he's on Facebook and he will do smoking guitar conversions if you hire him. So I said, I'm sick of my guitar not working. And I have a guitar that it is kind of a cheaper model that I don't mind having it all hacked up, and I sent it off to Jim and I said, Jim, I'm Space Frehley. I need a good smoking guitar. Will you do this for me? If I paid you. And he said, yeah, sure, Carly. And so I sent it off to him. And then I said to my wife, hey, I need 2 grand. So, so it didn't go over so well.
I'm
Oh
sure it
man.
didn't.
So, so I'm happy to say that as we speak, Jim Cara, who did all of Ace's smoking guitars, is now doing the smoking guitar for Space Frehley. So I'll have it at my show in
Cool.
Jersey, and hopefully it works.
Cool.
You know?
Very
Take us through the day of a show. What's the process like, both mentally and physically, to get into
Oh,
character?
it's usually just me being completely stressed out until it's time to go. You know, I take everything super seriously, and I despite what you see here, I have an incredibly high standard, you know? And so really, I mean, show day, it really is what it sounds like. It's show day, okay? There is none of this. I'm gonna get ready an hour before and just go. Because no, man, like Um, can I talk in my regular voice for this? Uh,
Absolutely.
like our last show, I think I literally started prepping it at 9 or 10 in the morning because
Wow.
I had to load the smoking guitar. I had to make sure that was, and that's a difficult process to do. I won't have to do that now with the smoker that's coming from Jim. But the smoker that I was using up until that point, I mean, there's a lot of wiring. There's a hot glue gun at some point. Like you have to really make it so that it's gonna ignite, and it's not easy to do.
Wow.
And I don't like to be rushed, so I start stuff really early. Then it's just a matter of getting all the clothes together, all the little accessories together, just making sure I have it. Because if I forget one thing, it doesn't ruin everything, but it hurts the process. You know what I mean? Then I got all my guitars. I mean, I take 4 or 5 guitars with me to a show. The main one, which is this one, my Cherry Sunburst. This is an actual Gibson. This is a custom shop 2004. This has to be sometimes restrung and just make sure it's maintained well and that it's functioning properly. Then I have to have a backup, which is usually this one. This one is an Epiphone, and it's not anything super great, but I love the color of it. I use this for Talk to
Cool.
Me. This is tuned in open G tuning, so I only use this guitar for one song because of the tuning's different. Because you have to have it tuned to open G for Talk to Me.
Right.
And then is the Smoker, which I don't have right now, but that's one of the guitars that needs to be attended to. And sometimes there's a fifth guitar too. But I wish I had a light up New York Groove guitar. I used to have one when I was in my old tribute band, and in fact, I still have it, but it's just so old, and so it's seen better days. Yeah, so then we get there, we get sound checked, we have a bunch of stuff to set up, we have a backdrop, we have there's just a lot of moving parts, and then I have to go get into character and just try you know, to become the man as best as I can.
How often have you been playing shows?
Okay, so the band started. I started Space Frehley in mid 2024. And this is something as a very serious part of this podcast. I want people to know this, okay? I started Space Frehley. I got the idea for it in February of 2024, while Ace was very much still with us, okay? I really, how do I want to say this? I never want people to assume or think that this was just a thing I decided to do after Ace died. That's just not in my heart. This was something I sort of conjured up in 2024, and so we didn't do our first show until February of 2025 because it took me a couple months to find the right guys to do this with me. I knew my brother would do it with me. He's the other guitar player. He would be part of Space Frehley with me. And then my brother fronts a Motley Crue tribute band called Livewire, but he's been playing guitar his whole life. So I knew he would be the guitar player with me. We needed a bass player, and the guy who does Nikki Sixx in Livewire, who was best friends with my brother, said, "Hey, I'll do Space Frehley with you." So he plays bass with me. I'm also part of an original band here in Pittsburgh, and the drummer from that original project with me, huge Kiss fan his whole life. And so I figured he'd be the most natural choice to do this. And so we started playing in February 2025. Uh, we only did about 4 or 5 shows in the months that followed. So we had February, March, April, May. We were doing opening spots for other bands because we're a brand new band. We didn't have a following. We didn't have we had maybe 100 or 200 people that were following us on Facebook, and you don't go to just starting a band to headline status, instantly. I mean, you've got to just it's a slow build, it's a slow grind. We did those 4 or 5 shows, and I had a hard time getting like clubs to want to have us play. The promoters just didn't have much interest in an Ace Frehley tribute. I mean, the man was out there still touring. Who'd want to go see a tribute when Ace is out there doing it himself? Like, in fact, he came to Pittsburgh. He was at Jurgles in July, and I went to see him. And it got to be about September, and I thought, this was a really cool thing. This was a lot of fun for me. I'm playing songs I love, but maybe there's just not a huge demand
Right.
for it. And that was in September, and I nearly quit. Then October came, and Ace dies. And I know you guys feel this way. No, none of us saw that coming. I didn't.
No.
I mean, yeah, I remember being at work and the announcement came that he had canceled all his shows for the rest of the year. And I'm thinking, well, and the thought ran through my head, man, I'm sure glad I went to Jurgles because that was a great show. And he looked great. He sounded good. He played well. His band was fantastic. I had such a great time at that show. I mean, I was 30 feet away from the guy, and I texted my wife and I said, I'm glad I saw him when I did because look, he's canceled the rest of his show. He's 74 years old. You just never know how many times you're going to get a chance to see these guys when they get to that age. And then October 16th, I was at work. I brought up Facebook. You all know Andrew Scambatti, right? Maybe not
Absolutely.
personally. You know who he is.
Yes, we
Right.
know of him.
Yeah. I'm friends with him on Facebook, as are many people. And it was early in the day, and scrolling, and I come across Andrew's page, and he had temporarily changed his profile pic to a picture of him as a little boy in Ace makeup.
Yep.
And I saw that, and the first thing that went through my head was, oh, what's wrong with Ace? I don't know what made me think that. I just thought that, though, because we had known he was having some medical issues. Nothing was announced. There was no reason for any of us to think that he was in the condition that he was. And then at about 4 o'clock that day, I get a text from a friend of mine who says, dude, I just heard that Ace died. And I sat there, and because of seeing Andrew's profile pic earlier that day, I just went, this has to be real. Like, this has to be true. And then the first thing I do is I'm going online, and then I see the TMZ thing, and I'm going, oh, this is no doubt for real, for real. And then I'm acquainted with Ryan Spencer Cook, his bass player, acquainted with him. And I go to his page, and sure enough, not much longer after, his profile pic is blacked out. And I said, it's done. I said, he's gone. He's gone. And then about an hour later, there was the announcement. I sat there in disbelief. I mean,
Yeah.
we all did.
We all did.
Yeah.
We all did.
100%.
That morning, it started to trickle out, I think about 11, 12 o'clock.
Wow.
It started to trickle out, and then Eddie Trunk's show came on at 3 o'clock, and it was like a ton of bricks, and it really was. I mean, it sounds so weird to me to this day, but I picked the phone up and I call Father Rocco,
Mhm.
and like I'm like, hey, are you okay? And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I'm not okay.
Right.
And I was asking him because, well, it was kind of weird, but I wasn't okay either. And you know what? It's however many months later, and like our audience still makes comments in our videos that they are still not okay. And the only
Right.
response that I can give them is, well, shit, neither am I. I don't know that any of us have gotten over it yet, and I am very much of the belief that if you aren't over it yet, you aren't going to get over it. And that the reason why I bring that up is because you are potentially part of our healing process.
Definitely.
Like, I don't want to put all this pressure on you, but you are most definitely part of the healing process. And I wasn't going to say this on air, but I will say it because I think it pertains to this greatly. For the Hooligans, I met Space Frehley in Vegas at the KISS Cruise Landlocked. And from 10, 15, I don't know, 20 feet away, it was shocking. And it was shocking. You do a great job with the hair, the goatee, the glasses, that's fine. It's all great. But the mannerisms, the shuffle,
Yeah.
the all of that, it was so believable that you walked up to me and the first 30 seconds, minute, maybe 2 minutes with how good you do the voice and all the little things that you do with the voice, that you use the same words, all that stuff. It was very cool. But I have to admit, after about 2 minutes, I was annoyed. And I want to explain to our audience why I was annoyed. I was annoyed because I thought you were goofing on a guy that just died.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I really thought, I mean, you're so good at what you do. I thought you were drunk, number one. I did.
It's just part of the shtick.
But and I kind of, after, I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes that we were kind of in the same area, I was like, yo, I got to get out of here. This guy's annoying me. And like I said, you were annoying me because I took it as you were goofing on him. And then I get back from Vegas and all of a sudden, I guess somebody has the whole world wired, because I get back from Vegas and I go on YouTube. It wasn't YouTube, it was Facebook.
Facebook. Mhm.
And all of a sudden, there you are, and you're on stage and you're playing Ace songs very well, by the way, and you're playing guitar, and immediately everything changed for me. You weren't goofing, you were a tribute to him,
Celebrating.
Yes. Yes.
which
Absolutely.
it's celebrating the life and the work of Ace Frehley, which, to my knowledge, you are the only Ace Frehley solo tribute act that is out there in existence. But I think the importance of you in the KISS fans and the Ace fans healing process cannot be overstated. Like, you are important. And this is crazy, but you are important to all of us, because however many months later, none of us are over this. And at least for me, I'm just not gonna get over it. So, seeing your videos, being able to put you on this podcast, it was a little more important to me than I expected it to be, because we get to celebrate Ace Frehley's entire history and we get to do it through you.
Yeah.
And I think it has significant importance.
It's to be
That's it.
embraced.
My Baptist sermon is over for the day.
The only quick
Well, let me okay, so that's the first time that somebody has kind of explained it to me like that. And yeah, that's really, it's heavy, and I never could have thought in 100,000 years. See what I did there?
Yeah.
I never, when I started this, number one, would I ever have thought that Ace would have passed away at any time? Okay.
No, me
Ever.
either.
ever.
No,
And
He was going to outlive us
superheroes.
all.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. He was going to be 100 and still, hey, he's coming to Jurgles. Let's go see him. He uses a walker. He sits down now. He has no hair left, but he's still got the smoking guitar. He's still saying, and Carly, absolutely. Sign me up, you know? And number two, after his passing, never would I have ever thought that, I don't know, that some fans might, just as you explained, see what I do as maybe I don't know, I don't know what you call it, a place of comfort, maybe a healing thing, as you just beautifully said, and I really appreciate that, and that's very kind of you to use those words, and I can tell you this, it's something that I don't take it lightly, and I mean, I did consider just not doing it at all after Ace died. I just said, well, there's not a whole lot of interest, and now he's died, and maybe I'm just done. Maybe, and then it was somebody on Facebook who commented on one of my posts who said, Space Frehley, we need you now more than ever. And I nearly cried when I saw that. And it was right then and then I said, I will keep doing this. I will keep doing this. And so wow, what that's yeah, it's heavy, and never would I have thought that I would be in a position. Look, I'm never going to be Ace. I will never. I can never be the man. All I can do is just I consider myself a student of his guitar playing, and I play guitar really because of two people, because of Bruce Kulick and Ace Frehley. But yeah, I've gotten messages from people literally almost all over the world in the past few months. Australia, Brazil, Canada, England, Germany. I get a message from somebody nearly every day. If I can be any source of heal, healing or joy for Kiss fans, uh, then I consider that a badge of honor, and I'm deeply humbled, and I'm grateful. That's all I can say. So very kind words from all you guys. I appreciate it very much. So it's just so weird. I never could have expected any of this. I just figured I was going to start an Ace tribute, do maybe 3 or 4 shows a year around Pittsburgh. That's really what I thought this was going to be. And then what happened happened, and my Facebook views, video views went through the roof. Some of my videos have an upwards of almost 100,000 views. What I realized after Vegas, Anthony, is that when I got back from Vegas, I started doing more videos just of me in character, just talking and stuff, like telling people hey, you'll never believe it. Hey, a guy from Ace's crew told me that Ace saw my videos. Ace did see my videos. When I was there at Vegas, um, I wasn't walking around for more than 10 minutes, just like this. And I tell this story on my Facebook page, but I'm walking around and a guy runs up to me and he goes, "Hey," he goes, you're the guy from Pittsburgh." And I said, "Yeah, I'm Space Frehley. How'd you know?" And he goes, "No," he goes, "You're the guy from Pittsburgh, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "My name's Mike. I worked for Ace." And I went, "You have my attention." And he goes, "Dude," straight up, he goes, "Dude, Ace saw your videos and he freaking loved it." And I stood there just absolutely stunned. And I had to ask him 3 times. I said, "You're sure he saw me, Space Frill, the Hello Kitty shirt?" He goes, "Dude, it was you." He goes, "Because I showed him the video. And it was a video of you guys in a rehearsal." And I said, "Yeah, I know the video you're talking about. There's different clips of different songs." He goes, "Ace saw all of it. He watched it and he laughed. He thought it was great. He got a huge kick out of it. He absolutely loved it." And I stood there with my hands on my face like this. And I had to ask him again. I'm like, "You're sure?" I knew at that point it was me because uh, I posted that video. I edited it. And I could not believe it. And I'm standing there going, Ace knew who I was. Ace saw Space Frehley. And Mike and I talked for another minute or two, and who I'm now in touch with, and I talk to him every so often. And after that, after we kind of, said our goodbyes, I went to the nearest bathroom and I just had to just collect myself. And I just stood there and I just looked in the mirror and I just had this feeling of just the just in disbelief that Ace actually saw me and saw what we were doing. So there you have it. The man knew who I was. He saw our videos. He loved what we did, and he got a kick out of it,
That's
as
great.
Ace would. And I, for anybody who might not like what I do or might not agree with it, I just want to say this to you. Ace had a great sense of humor. He
Yes.
really did. He
Mhm.
did not take himself too seriously. I mean, he always took himself with, yes, he was serious about his music, but he always saw the humor in it. He always saw a lightheartedness to it. And I had a guy on Facebook from another tribute band call me a joke. And,
Mm.
most people's comments, if they're going to say bad things about me, hey, God bless you. Okay. But that one kind of hurt, and I wanted to, because the guy, he does it well, and I wrote back and said, hey, man, I really admire what you do. And I think you play the A stuff very well. But it was like one of your own putting you down. And I
Right.
wanted to say, dude, do you not know Ace at all? It's just he had the best sense of humor, and I have multiple people who know Ace who tell me, dude, if you would have met him, he would have freaking loved it, So I keep that in my heart, and just to know that the man saw us and loved what I'm doing is enough,
And
you know.
endorsed what
Yeah.
you were
Right.
doing.
Yeah, I mean, he made
And I think that should be the most important thing for you is even though it's indirectly,
right.
you indirectly have the endorsement of Ace Frehley.
I'm now in touch with Phil Dealey, who was his tour manager, who helped me get this show in New Jersey. He has been super supportive. Mike Duno from his crew, they all love what I do. I mean, I still can't believe it to know that some in Ace's inner circle and the guest you had on last week, Mr. Steve Brown himself. I didn't even reach out to him. He reached out to me and he said, dude, I love what you do. And I wrote him back and said, dude, not only does that do my heart a huge service, but I loved Trickster when I was a kid. I mean, they were part of I was an 80s rock kid, and that's all I ever
Yeah.
wanted to do with I saw the Revenge Tour front row in Pittsburgh, and who was the opening band? Trickster was the opening band. I was slapping hands with Steve and PJ both, and here we are 30 plus years later. I text with Steve now, and I text with Phil, and I text with Mike, and some other people in Ace's circle, and to know that I have their blessing, and they're all coming to the show in Jersey, and it's just really cool. I mean, I can't ask for anything better other than for the man himself to still be here and for me to sit side by side and, have had a conversation with him, which unfortunately will never happen, but to know that he did see us, he approved, he loved it, and the the acceptance, if you will, of some of his inner circle is is just wonderful. Talk about getting deep on the Hooligan podcast. Jeez, oh man. So sometimes you just gotta laugh, right?
Hey, man.
Okay.
It's kind of hard not to laugh with you on screen, that's for sure.
Hey, man.
I had a question to kind of bring us into more of a brighter thing.
Yeah, please, come on, will you?
Yeah.
Right.
Space, what is the hardest song for you to sing,
Oh,
and what is your favorite? I mean, what is your favorite one to sing?
okay. I'm glad you asked this question, okay? Because I got an answer for it. But I'm gonna answer it in my real voice, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you guys know well enough that Ace's vocal ability is not that of Paul's, is not that of Gene's or Peter's, okay? I don't think I've ever met a Kiss fan who said, yeah, Ace's voice was amazing, okay? But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay, so if kind of like what you asked me, some of these songs, these Ace songs, are deceivingly high and they're not easy to sing. Uh, it's
Mm.
funny because I kind of shied away from 10,000 volts for a little while until Steve told me, "Hey, you better freaking do 10,000 volts." I will, I will. And I'm just like, oh, that song's such a bitch to sing because it's got real high parts and it goes from real low to real high. When you come out of the verse and you go into time waits for no one, I made up my mind, just like that's a big jump. And it's just like, that is not easy. Okay. So for anybody who says Ace Frehley was not a good singer, that is not true. Okay. He had ability. I'm not saying his ability was on par with Paul, Gene, or Peter or Eric Carr or some of the amazing singers that Kiss had. But Ace's songs, not all of them are easy to sing. Talk to Me it's in the key of C, and for some reason, songs in the key of C just don't sit well in my voice, and so I have to drop the key to that one, a half step or maybe even a full step. But it still sounds like the song. In fact, I think Kiss actually did it in that key at some point. But Talk to Me is not the easiest to sing. 10,000 volts for sure isn't the easiest to sing. And okay, so I would love to do two sides of the coin. Try singing that chorus, okay? That is so high that I would have to drop the key way down. But we've never done that song. But as for favorites, honestly, I don't have a favorite because I know this sounds like a canned answer, but it's really not. I love all these songs. I really do. They've been part of my life. Some of them for I'm 48. These songs have been part of since I can remember. My earliest memories are when I'm 3 and 4 years old, and that's right around the time I started listening to Kiss. I was about 4 years old. So I've been
Wow.
hearing songs my whole life. I love the Unmasked album. So anything from Unmasked. We've done Torpedo Girl live. That is not an easy song to play. That riff is very easy to trip over. But when we get it right, it's really fun. Um, you know, uh, they're all fun songs to do. Each of them have their little degrees of difficulty. Um, it's easy to mess up the little runs in New York Groove. It's easy to mess up because if you don't land on the right note, especially in a song like Rock Soldiers, when you have a delay on it, if you hit the wrong note, it repeats the wrong note over and over again, you know? But yeah, some of the songs are not easy.
Well, to follow that up a little bit, what do you think is the hardest song to play on guitar?
Oh, on guitar. Okay, so the solo for Lover All I Can is an absolute bitch,
Heck yeah,
but
dude.
yeah, and I've been playing it all my life, but rarely do I play it, especially in a live setting. Do you play it through one pass through and get everything right? I do want to do that song live at some point because it gives me a vocal break. What else is difficult? I've always said that to play the Shock Me solo correctly and to play it with accuracy and to hit all those notes the way that Ace would, and I'm not saying that I play it exactly like him. I try to get it as close as I can. I'm a very big believer that uh, one's guitar tone is in your hands. Yes, you can have an amp. I play through lots of different amps, and I feel like I sound the same. The tone is
Totally.
here. The tone is here
For,
for
for
any guitar
bands.
player, whether that guitar player be Bruce Kulick or Ace Frehley or Vinnie Vincent or Tommy Thayer. They all have a sound of their own, and not one of them is going to sound just exactly like the other. I mean, but I've always said that Shock Me is one of the hardest to pull off. Ace had wonderful, wonderful solos. He had great composition. He had great melody. I mean, he could take a song as simple as Going Blind and come up with that amazing
Mm,
yet simple solo. And it
great
is
song. I love
so
that song.
expressive,
Hmm.
so tastefully done. And that's a brilliant solo. There might be only 10 notes in it, but God, that's one
He
of
put
his
his mark.
that's wonderful. Got to Choose has a great guitar solo to it.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I'm trying to think of some others off the top of my head. Obviously, Love Her All I Can, what he did on that song is ingenious. You know, we're all familiar with the Wicked Lester version of that song. And
Right.
Yeah.
God bless Ron Lee Jack. I don't even know if he's still living, but the difference between that and what Frehley did with that is just, oh my God. It's just like, if there was ever a moment in history that I would have loved to have been on a fly on the wall is when he walked into that loft on 23rd and
Amen.
and just whatever he did,
God, yeah.
however he let loose, I'm sure that was an epiphany for those guys.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they just must have looked at each other and said, that's the guy.
Can you give me an example of a Space Frehley set list?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I'll talk a little bit like Ace when it comes to this. Okay. So the set list, well, let me first start off by saying there are certain songs we have to do. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go to my real voice. There are obviously the songs that we have to do. We have to do Cold Gin. We have to do, uh, in my mind, I feel like you got to do Rip It Out. You
Oh,
got to
yeah.
do
Hmm.
um, you gotta do Parasite. That's a hard song to sing. Oh my God, that is up there. Um, you gotta do New York Groove. You gotta do well, obviously you gotta do Shock Me. So half the set list are the songs you have to do because really we do about an hour 20 show at the longest an hour and a half because if you go any longer than 90 minutes people just stop checking out. So but people obviously always, well, they say they want the deep cuts and they say they want the rarities. And sometimes you do the deep cuts and the rarities and it's crickets.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like you said you wanted this, I gave it to you, and now it's crickets. Um, so every show we do, I do throw at least two or three in there that I feel like the hardcore Ace fan is just gonna go nuts over.
Oh, I got actually a good question for you.
Yeah.
And it actually regards to my cousin. Do you feel like there's a specific reason why Ace didn't really do Into the Night live?
Dude, wait.
Heck yeah,
Space
rock
before you answer
This has
that.
been a long time coming.
I want you to know when he and I spoke on the phone, I think it took me about 8 minutes into the phone call
I think
to
it took
ask
2
him that
minutes.
question.
I love that he knows, dude.
Hey, I'm Anthony. Do you do Into the Night?
My thing was, I think I said vocally, it's different than a lot of his songs. I thought maybe because vocally, maybe that's
Oh,
why he
man.
didn't
I
do
have a
it.
theory. So
I'm
I have a
curious.
theory okay, for first of all, let me say it is an absolute crime that he didn't do that song after 1988 or whenever he stopped
Totally.
playing it.
About
Because
88.
yeah, I remember running home from a baseball game that I had here in my town, and I got home, and my brother says, get in here," and he goes, thought something bad happened," and he goes, "Ace is on MTV today. It's his new video. He doesn't have makeup." I about
Yeah.
and it was Into the Night, and
Yeah,
I love that song since the word go.
absolutely.
And I don't know why. He really never did it after um, after the run of the first Frehley's Comet album. The only thing I can possibly think, but it really doesn't make sense because he's done other cover songs in his set. Obviously, that song was it written by Russ Ballard?
It
Yeah.
Yep.
was.
Okay. Obviously, artists have to pay uh,
Oh,
for
okay.
use of certain songs if they're not the author. Now, this does not apply to local bands. Maybe it does, but nobody adheres to it. But when you're a nationally touring act, you have to, pay for certain songs that you're doing if you're doing it the correct way. And,
Hmm. Okay.
people could put a claim against you to say, you're out there playing my song and I'm not getting any whatever for it. Now, I don't know all the rules about publishing and things like that, but that may have been a factor. No one's told me this. This is my own theory, okay? And I will tell you that Space Frehley is happy to do Into the Night, and we will be. So so
Yeah.
you'll be hearing it sooner than you think.
Space,
Yes.
what would you like all our hooligans out there to know about you, and how do they find you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can easily find me best on Facebook and Instagram. Just look up Space Frehley, a tribute to Ace Frehley, not Space Ace or Space Ace Frehley. You got to look Space Frehley, and you will find me. There's pictures of me right on the top of the profile, so you'll know that it's me in my silver jacket, you know. So that's where you can best find me. We are developing spacefrehley.com as we speak. There's just a little placeholder there right now, but that will be a place where you can go and see videos and read more about the band. That's coming. Uh, I think what I want people to know most about Space Frehley and what I do is that this couldn't come from a more genuine place in my heart. I do this because I love it. I mean, some people have said, "Oh, you're just mocking him," or "You're this," or I have no interest in doing this as a joke or doing this as a mock. I would never even, you know, uh, I'm stumbling over my words here just
There's no
because,
question, bro. You've already
yeah,
shown how genuine you are about this. You're
yeah, I mean,
definitely,
I
100%.
have
yeah.
no interest in doing anything that would mock the man in any way. Ace Frehley to me was just somebody who made me want to do something that I otherwise would not have done, and that is just become a guitar player.
Right.
And I studied his guitar playing when I was 12 years old, and when I was 22 years old, and 32, and 42, and I'll be doing it when I'm 52. You know, honestly, it's done out of love and passion, and really for no other reason. I mean, there's no money in this right now. I don't know if there ever will be, but that's not even really. I'm not super driven by money. Yes, money's important, okay, but it's honestly this has cost me more than anything I've made.
It's a labor of love for you.
Absolutely. And that's what it was 30 years ago when I was in a tribute band and doing makeup and costume. You do it out of passion. I mean, I think the reason anybody does something is, probably for one of two reasons, either money or passion, and it's never been about money for me. It's always been about I remember a couple years ago sitting in this very chair, playing that guitar and playing Ace solos and going, God, I wish there was a job where I could just play Kiss stuff all day. Because really it's one of the only things I do super well, and never Space really wasn't even a thought in my head at that point, and I don't know what the future holds for it, but Anthony, what you said earlier is I take that to heart, and I do hope that people get joy out of what I'm doing, especially if you were an Ace fan. I hope that people like it. Obviously, any artist only wants people to like what you do, So
Right.
whether in this case, I'm playing Ace Frehley songs and singing them like them and trying to capture the vibe of his character and his voice and all that crazy shit, I just I hope that people like it. Really, that's all I can say.
It's been a pleasure, and I know for one
Absolutely.
thing, us hooligans will be supporting you.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
the
Thank
I
number one
agree.
Space Frehley fan now after
you.
this stuff for sure.
You got some competition. I got a lot of fans now, I must say.
I'm number one, Curly.
Yeah. Oh, he called me Carly, so you must be number one. But I want to also say thank you to everybody who's followed me on. I just passed 3,000 followers on Facebook last week. And sincerely, and if you're watching this and you follow me on Facebook and you've been watching my videos, Thank you so much for your support. I love that you love what I do, and I hope you continue to. And so thank you to everybody out there. And if you've hung with us for this long in this podcast interview, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Ack!
Thank you for doing your part to keep Ace's legacy alive, and thank you for hanging with the hooligans.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Rocco. Thank you, Black Diamond Dave. I dig it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carly. Appreciate it.
All right, Space.
All right. Hey,
It
we'll
was
talk.
great having you on.
Absolutely. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate
Have a great
it.
night.
All
You
right.
too. See you later. Bye.
If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms, please leave us a review. And if you just found us, check out our past episodes. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel and you like this episode, please consider hitting the like button, just like them guys, and leaving us a comment. Hit that subscribe button, just like them guys, so you don't miss any future episodes, and check out these episodes right here. As always, if you made it this far, thank you for supporting us, and don't forget, we should all lead with love and take care of each other. Peace out, Hooligan Nation.